Times, chief political reporter for the Des Moines Register, political reporter for the Boston Globe, James Pindell, covering New Hampshire, and Andy Shane, politics reporter for the state newspaper in Columbia, South Carolina. Thank you all for being here. Let's start chronologically. Jennifer, in Iowa, the Real Clear Politics average of polls right now has Ted Cruz with a slight lead over Donald Trump, very slight. It's essentially tied. And there you see Rubio in third and Carson in fourth. What is the situation on the ground?
We show that it's Ted Cruz who has the hot hand in Iowa. Yes, Donald Trump still is strong here, but a wild card somewhat in terms of turnout. Ben Carson, we show, is still in third place, but fading rapidly. Fourth place is Marco Rubio, standing still almost, hasn't really moved since we last polled in October, but he is playing to win here. He has made that clear. He showed up in Iowa immediately after the last debate. He's playing hard to win here. He's going after Ted Cruz, so that raises expectations for him. But clearly, Cruz is in the lead, and he's getting hit like a front runner.
Yeah, Cruz, we've heard, has a big ground game, Jen, in Iowa. Is that true, and what does it compare or contrast to the Trump ground game?
He does, and I would probably suspect that he probably has the most high-tech ground game as well. The Trump ground game is interesting. He's been pulling in newcomers, political newcomers who have never caucused before, much less done the nitty-gritty campaigning work before, and he's tried to pull those people in. So I'm not sure whether that'll work. Will it bring a whole new crowd of people to the caucuses, or will they be inexperienced and cause some sort of collapse on caucus night? Otherwise, you've got other candidates who have strong ground games. Ben Carson has a very strong ground game. He had 130,000 Iowa names in his database. He had 30,000 hard IDs, which is those people who say that they're very hard committed to caucusing for Ben Carson. We'll see if that stands. As for the mainstream candidates, I'd have to say Jeb Bush and Chris Christie have the strongest ground games. Rubio playing catch-up.
Okay, let's talk about New Hampshire with James. The Real Clear Politics average, James, has Trump in a big lead right now in New Hampshire over Rubio, Christie, and Cruz coming in.
Should we text her anything right now?
Paint the picture for us.
Text her?
Yeah, should we text her right now and tell her she's...
Her
glasses are smudged.
Donald Trump is now leading for 23, 24.
She has a booger.
Is she regularly on this?
For months and months and months. That's not changed. What has changed?
Semi-regularly? Occasionally?
Who's in third place?
So she's hired by Fox News?
No, she works for the Des Moines Register.
Oh.
And she'll be listening to this whole thing because we're recording right now. She works for the Register, but Fox and the other big networks have local reporters on that
could be very critical as we head to
give the take from New Hampshire.
If you go with the premise, there could be three lanes of an outsider lane, a conservative
Some guy at the
lane,
Boston Globe.
and sort of the establishment lane. We may know who the conservative could be if Cruz is able to win Iowa. We know the outsider could be Donald Trump, particularly as Ben Carson has been fading, but New Hampshire could decide that establishment lane. And the interesting thing is, if the outsider like Donald Trump is in first, and the conservative like Ted Cruz is in second, because he is consolidating conservative support in New Hampshire, and Iowa could signal even further to New Hampshire conservatives where they should go. That means what? The mainstream candidate being third? Is that candidate really going to be able to go on? Yeah, James, what about the ground game? We talked about with Jennifer, but in New Hampshire, who has the best get out the vote, the best kind of operation right now? In terms of the most talented team, that would be Jeb Bush, and it's really critical for him. As you know, he's doing another reboot, and he's trying to do that reboot in New Hampshire to try to say this is where he's going to win.
He's a gentleman,
state he can win.
Jeb
That's the
Bush.
best talented team, but Chris Christie, and you got to say, has been building out methodically one after another. And then you have to give credit to John Kasich, who, when he had a boomlet in the state in September, really did build a team, but right now there's no energy on that team. Okay, let's turn to Andy down in South Carolina. Andy, the Real Clear Politics average of polls down there has Trump up pretty big over Ben Carson, Ted Cruz in third, Rubio in fourth.
Trump is still 29%.
Colorado State.
Just like in New Hampshire, Trump is the story here. He continues to draw big crowds. He's
I
been
like
here
Kasich.
4 times in the past
But
3 weeks. He draws
apparently he's not
thousands
easy
of
to get
people
along
from
with.
4,000 on a
He's kinda
Saturday
nasty
in
to the
Aiken
people he works
just
with.
this past weekend. He continues to be the main story and the main focus here. And just like in New Hampshire, it's the second place spot that's been changing. At first it was Carson. Now we're seeing Cruz bubble up. And at this point, it really seems to be 5 candidates that are getting the bulk of the support at the moment, from Trump on down to Bush. Though Bush's support has been sort of in the single digits consistently since the summer, since Trump got into the race.
Quickly, I want to do a lightning round here. Jen, then James, then Andy. The issue that is driving voters in your state that you cover. Jen first.
National security. It's eclipsed everything.
Okay, James.
National security jobs, but the heroin epidemic has been playing huge in the state as candidates are having to address it.
Oh, is he from New Hampshire?
Yes.
I hate to say it's 3 for 3. It's been national security. In fact, even before the ISIS attacks, that seemed to be top of mind here for the Republicans in South Carolina.
Jennifer, James, Andy, thank you so much. We'd love to have you back. It's great to provide this.
So she's someone you used to work with?
Yes.
Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks.
Thank you.
When we come back, Santa Claus is coming to this town. $2 trillion worth of tax dollars could be dished out.